When I started to think about how to make this movie, I knew that the purpose was to help people understand the content's meaning. But when I thought about it some more, I realized that the most important thing making the movie is doing is that it's teaching me to understand myself. Why am I here? We all have busy schedules. We're making money to pay our bills, taking care of our kids, and solving the everyday problems of life. When we do talk with friends, we frequently talk about how we can make more money in the future so that we can buy a house and a car. We're in a constant mode of paying off debt. But at the end of the day, what's the point of it all? And are we really happy? Many of us are living in situations where our kids are rebellious or unteachable. We fight with our spouse due to disagreements. We keep repeating the same patterns, and a constant state of numbness has become the norm. Isn't there any way to reduce the trouble and conflict in our life? From my experience, I have come to wonder, what is the real purpose of praying in church or chanting sutras at the temple? Is it for the sake of ceremony? Is it to change others? Or is it to change myself? If I am angry, delusional, and greedy when I enter the church or the temple, but don't understand the real purpose of prayer or chanting, then do I really get anything from being a part of these ceremonies? In Paris, France, a UNESCO Peace Conference recently took place. Leaders from the government, education, business, and the world's religions gathered together. The goal of the conference was to promote world peace through putting forth great effort to build a society filled with love and harmony. We were very lucky to be able to go to the UNESCO headquarters in Paris, France. We are sincerely hoping to hear something that touches us deep in our hearts and gives us the answers we seek. The conference first paid special tribute to the late Thai king, His Majesty Bhumibol Adulyadej, who passed away last year. The king reigned for more than 70 years, and his many royal projects helped millions of Thai people living in rural areas improve their lives through education, sustainable agriculture, improving the economy, and more.
His Majesty was fondly known as the development king, and his approach to sustainable development was based on the sufficiency economy philosophy.
His Majesty King Bhumibol's portraits are seen at the airport, in the street, in shops, and in cinemas in Bangkok. At the sight of the portrait, Thai people would join their palms, kneel down, and bow as a sign of respect for His Majesty.
I was amazed to learn that the king worked tirelessly for decades visiting rural areas of Thailand in order to help the poor improve their lives. He spent a lot of time with the sick, and eventually became sick himself because of this. Despite becoming sick, he continued to visit the sick Thai people until one day he got so sick that he passed away. I was lucky enough to be in Thailand recently and saw firsthand how much the Thai people loved their king. Millions came from all over Thailand and other countries around the world to pay respects to His Majesty. The Thai people always say, "We may not have the best country in the world, but we have the best king." After learning about the King of Thailand, I really felt that he was a saint. He is someone worthy of emulating in today's turbulent world. I wondered about how the king thought. Some of the speakers talked about the king's mindset for improving Thailand.
He proposed for politics the Buddhist principles of the Tosapit Rajatan, the principles of the righteous ruler, the righteous king. And secondly, he proposed sufficiency economy principles. Each of these things is taken from the Buddha's teachings and applied to the problems of our times. At the center of the Buddha's teaching is a recognition of an internal weakness. Our emotions give rise to destabilization and unsustainability inside ourselves. They cut us off from flourishing and from a sense that all things are going well. They interpose their powers to build a wall between us and what is around us, preventing us from benefiting from reality. But the wall is not outside. The wall is only in our minds and hearts. We actually imprison ourselves. So the key to freedom is in our own minds.
I felt that what the Buddha had to teach was very practical. He taught people how to effectively live in the world. As an American, I think his teachings could be very useful in my country. Although monetarily we are one of the richest countries in the world, we are also one of the most depressed. I really enjoyed the talk by film producer Titus Lieber, who talked about how the real problem of today's world is not climate change, it is the thoughts people are having, the mental pollution.
There's probably no better path than the Buddhist path to work against that, towards an ecology of the mind. An ecology which takes care of how we perceive things, not only how we do them, but how, according to Buddhist teachings, we perceive and we conceive our thoughts and our actions, because action is only coming after we perceive them in our inner thing.
Perhaps the first step to having a happier life is to first change our own minds and hearts. But how do we do this? What are some practical ways of changing ourselves? And how do we know if we are really becoming better? We all think we are the hero of our own life, but if we think in this way, how can we be sure we aren't causing others harm? The truth is, we discriminate against others. During the conference, a traditional Chinese ancestral remembrance ceremony was held. Throughout history, the Chinese people have attached particular importance to remembering ancestors. But why?
As the respected Professor Jing Kong teaches, all conflicts stem from the family. A person who has conflicts with their parents or siblings will inevitably have conflicts with others. By respecting and loving our parents and siblings, extending this to respecting elders, such love and respect can bring harmony to our community, can extend to harmony in our country, and ultimately the world. The Analects of Confucius explains, let there be careful attention to performing the funeral rites to parents, and let them be commemorated with ancestral remembrance ceremonies. Through this, the people will recover their innate virtue. If we can organize our parents' funerals carefully and remember our ancestors, social customers will naturally become honest. Why is this? If a person always keeps their ancestors in mind and can commemorate them regularly, how can they possibly not look after their parents?
Learn how to be a good son, and one will know how to be a good father. Learn how to be a good subordinate, and one will know how to be a good leader. Learn how to serve people properly, and one will know how to appoint people to appropriate tasks.
According to Chinese philosophy, of all the virtues, filial piety is the most important. When we respect and love our ancestors, our parents, and our siblings, we will naturally respect and love others. After the ancestral remembrance ceremony, we spoke with Peter Erzman, an American living in Paris, about his views of the ceremony. He said that this was the first time he'd ever attended a large ancestral remembrance ceremony. He thought it was very interesting, and it made him reflect on what Westerners and his family does to remember their own ancestors. Christmas is a time of year that people in the West look at photos and remember family, but it's not a set thing, and it's definitely not like the ceremony this morning. The ceremony as a whole was very different from Western culture. During the ceremony, a drum, a bell, and a small band playing traditional instruments were used. As a music person, Peter enjoyed seeing those elements of music. The very slow pace of the ceremony was striking. The goal of the ceremony seemed to be to put people into a reflective mood. There is a Chinese saying that goes, "If the family lives in harmony, all affairs will prosper." We've all heard how psychological problems stem from the family. By respecting and commemorating our parents and ancestors, perhaps we can eliminate our selfish tendencies created in childhood, and in doing so change ourselves, our family, our community, and our world. A big part of creating world peace is understanding how to create it. Much of the conference emphasized the importance of education, understanding both the importance of learning about our own faith as well as the faiths of others. Again, we spoke with Peter, who shared with us his views on interfaith education. He has long felt that interfaith education is very important and something that is oftentimes lacking from intercultural education. It's such a key piece to any culture, any society, and any one person. When you really get down to the core, it's typically coming from some spiritual, faith-based root. Even if they don't practice, it's still part of the culture in general, so to be able to understand that about other people is really great. These days, a lot of people have stepped away from their own faith. A lot of Westerners think about the wars and conflict that religions have caused, which has made them want to back off from it. But when we get back to the holy texts, the scriptures, and study what the faiths are actually teaching and are talking about, they're all about love and bringing people together to help each other, not to kill, not to go to war. There's really a need to introduce the secular world to all of the wisdom of the world's faiths. At one point during the conference, we were lucky enough to visit the new office of Professor Ching Kong's Friends at UNESCO. Professor Ching Kong is a Dharma teacher who has been using the internet and other media for more than 60 years to teach people how to correct ourselves and live in harmony with each other.
真心是一切法的源头。
I was really impressed that Master Ching Kong was using the internet and technology many years ago to teach people. Professor Ching Kong has been working with UNESCO for years in order to spread the message of love and harmony to the world. Hopefully his office will be used as a platform for connecting with people who have the goal of creating love and harmony in the world. At the event, free books educating people on topics such as Buddhism, filial piety, and the ancient governing principles of China were provided. The books were provided by the Pure Land Learning College, which was a sponsor to the event. The film producer Titus Lieber introduced two multimedia visualization projects that promote the Buddha's teachings of peace. The first is a visualization of Wat Prakau, the temple of the Emerald Buddha in Bangkok, and the second is the Borobudur, the largest Buddhist temple in the world, located in Java, Indonesia. By using computer technology, our learning becomes more interactive and a stronger impression is made. The projects are meant to teach people about who the Buddha was and what he taught. This is done through animations, audio, and images. At Darling Heights State School in Toowoomba, Australia, intercultural and interfaith education has been put into practice. Its students come from more than 40 different countries. They represent dozens of different cultural backgrounds and languages. I feel that learning from others about how to bring about world peace, and at the same time educating others, is crucial for spreading world peace. During the conference, we learned about the power that the mind has to affect a person's environment. Water is showing us this.
With countless experiments, we found that water can see, hear, smell, taste, sense, and feel. Water can receive and reflect the messages of human thoughts and the universe through the shapes and contents of the water crystals.
That people had stormed the cockpit. We also learned that on one of the flights, the American Airlines flight that went into the World Trade Towers, the flight attendants...
我们起心动念，言语造作，谁知道？
According to the Buddhist Avatamsaka Sutra, all phenomena come from the mind. I think that through educating ourselves on how to create peace in our lives, we can finally create peace in society. I realize that we have all the tools necessary to create world peace in the world right now. Creating world peace is about first changing our own minds and hearts. When we change our minds and hearts, we become good, and this goodness will radiate outwards towards others. In order to create world peace, we must have interactions with others. No interaction leads to misunderstandings, which can turn into negativity and disasters. We create opportunities for ourselves and others by connecting with enterprises, other religious groups, musicians, artists, and people who speak other languages. The best national defense is education. The best self-defense is self-discipline. If every one of us can work on the original issues, we believe that world peace is possible. World peace starts with me, in my own mind and heart. From here we connect with others through interaction and collaboration.